Could the Iraqi dinar make you a millionaire? Here's what you need to know. Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar RV, your go-to place for understanding currency news in a clear and simple way. Today, we're tackling a question that could potentially change your financial future. Could you really become a millionaire if the Iraqi dinar, IQD, revalues? Let's explore the facts, do the math, and break down what a revaluation would actually mean for everyday investors. Is that paper currency in your drawer a hidden fortune? Imagine holding a currency note today that may be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands in the near future. Sounds like wishful thinking? Not exactly. Especially when we're talking about the Iraqi dinar, particularly the 25,000 IQD banknote that has gained popularity among investors looking for long-term gains. The idea of the dinar revaluing, increasing significantly in value against the US dollar, has sparked curiosity around the world. So let's start with the basics. What is a currency revaluation? A revaluation occurs when a country officially raises the value of its currency in comparison to others. In this case, we're focused on Iraq, potentially boosting the value of the dinar, IQD, against the US dollar, USD. Right now, the exchange rate is low, which means it takes a large number of dinars to equal $1. But what happens if that number changes? Let's say 1 IQD becomes equal to 1 cent. Your 25,000 IQD note would now be worth $250. If it rises to 10 cents, the same note is suddenly worth $2,500. If it reaches parity, 1 IQD equals 1 USD, you'd be holding a $25,000 note. The potential is obvious, and that's why so many are paying close attention. Crunching the numbers. Here's where the possibilities really get interesting. Suppose you own 10 25,000 IQD notes, a total of 250,000 dinars. At today's approximate rate of 1,300 dinars per dollar, that's less than $200. But in the event of a revaluation where 1 IQD equals $1, those notes would be worth $250,000. Even a smaller increase in value, say 10 cents per dinar, would mean your holdings are now worth 25 cents. So, how much would it take to become a millionaire? You'd need 1,000 IQD. At 1 IQD equals $1, that's $1 million. Right now, 1 million IQD costs between $800 to $1,000, depending on how and where you buy it. That's a small investment with a potentially massive upside. But it's not all hype. There's real economic reasoning here. This isn't just speculation or hype. Iraq has been making strides in rebuilding its economy, stabilizing its currency, and increasing oil production, one of its biggest economic pillars. Foreign investment is gradually returning, and Iraq's central bank has hinted at reforms to support a stronger dinar. Historical examples give this theory more weight. Germany post-World War II and Kuwait after its conflict both saw major currency recoveries backed by strong reforms and resources. Iraq, with one of the world's largest oil reserves, could follow a similar path. The delete the zeros plan. What it means. There's a twist that many investors overlook. Iraq has previously discussed a currency reform called removing the zeros. This would mean converting a 25,000 IQD note into a 25 IQD note. While that might sound alarming, it doesn't necessarily reduce the overall value, unless it's a redenomination without a simultaneous increase in purchasing power or exchange rate. Understanding this concept is important. A revaluation increases value without changing the note itself. A redenomination, on the other hand, introduces new currency and adjusts denominations, which may or may not benefit existing holders. What about purchasing power? When people talk about the value of a currency rising, what they're really asking is, will I be able to buy more with it? If the dinar appreciates in value, you could get more US dollars in exchange. That's a real gain in purchasing power. Investors believe that if Iraq's economy keeps improving, the dinar could follow. How to exchange dinar if a revaluation happens? Let's assume the revaluation takes place. What next? You'll need a legitimate way to exchange your IQD notes. That means working with authorized banks, certified currency brokers, or licensed money exchangers. Not every financial institution will handle IQD immediately after a revaluation, so do your homework and keep an eye on announcements from Iraq's central bank. Also, ensure your physical dinars are kept secure and undamaged. Authentic notes will likely be required for any future exchange. Beware of scams and red flags. With excitement comes risk. Unfortunately, some people fall victim to fake dealers, inflated promises, or misleading exchange rates. Always buy from dealers who are licensed and well-reviewed. Look for transparency, fair pricing, and proof of authenticity when buying notes. And remember, while it's legal to purchase Iraqi dinars in many countries, selling them later may be restricted by banking policies or regulations. Don't confuse revaluation with redenomination. It's critical to distinguish between revaluation and redenomination. A revaluation boosts the currency's value while keeping the notes the same. A redenomination replaces old notes with new ones and adjusts their face value, like turning a 25,000 note into a 25 note. The latter is often done to simplify transactions, not necessarily to increase the value of holdings. The big picture, a smart strategy or just a gamble? Nobody can predict the future with absolute certainty. Revaluations can happen quickly, or take years. Iraq is working toward modernization, upgrading banking systems, enforcing anti-corruption measures, and improving economic transparency. If these reforms succeed and oil revenue continues to grow, the dinar could increase in value much faster than people expect. But it's still a speculative investment. You should never invest more than you're prepared to lose. Final thoughts. Are you ready if it happens? So, what should you do now? 1. Take inventory. Do you already own any IQD? Store them safely. 2. Do your research. Know the difference between revaluation and redenomination. 3. Stay informed. Watch for official updates from Iraq's central bank. 4. Engage wisely. Only deal with reputable currency dealers. In a world of economic uncertainty, diversification is more important than ever. Holding a small amount of foreign currency like the dinar could be one way to hedge against risk, as long as you understand the potential and the limitations. So, could the Iraqi dinar really make you a millionaire? Only time will tell. But with the right knowledge, preparation, and caution, you'll be ready to make a smart decision if the opportunity arises. Thanks for reading Iraqi Dinar RV. Stay informed, stay safe, and happy investing.